Let's get it.
You ready?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, peeps? Y de lo mío. Sit down and take a seat. Que lo que. Que lo que. Siéntate. Lawrence and beyond. So, what's going on this episode? Hey, usually. Like always. I wanted to make him laugh, man. I miss Infamous. You guys miss Infamous too?
You already know I'm back, man.
Hey, hosting with me, DJ Infamous.
You already know I'm in the building, man.
And today we got a special guest. We got Sabrina in the building. What's good,
yeah.
Sabrina? Introduce yourself.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so my name is Sabrina Baggio, Director of Progress Clothing. Want me to go into
Go into what is Progress Clothing?
Get into it.
Yeah, maybe I can take a step back and I'll go into how we even here, stuff like that. But yeah, so I've lived in Lawrence all my life. Went through the Lawrence public school system, went to the Voc, a couple of years, I think it's separate from Brian.
Yeah.
I actually went to the Voc for electrical.
Electrical?
Yeah.
What? I was in metal fabrication. That's wild.
Yeah, and just living the life. Living the life, always been here. Went on to Merrimack College for business marketing and management. That was a bit of a different kind of culture shock after being in Lawrence for so long. But it's been a big help. It's actually where Progress was able to get started. And actually where my other day job got started too, in a way. So having gone to school for business marketing and stuff, and just always having an interest in graphic design. My dad had all these film cameras that I was into. He's a computer engineer, so I got into web design through him. Social media, all those things. So that's how I've been able to do marketing for small business, nonprofit, stuff like that, which many people probably know from having me help with Bread and Roses to a bunch of other different ones.
In the Bread and Roses festival, that's pretty cool. Is a history about Lawrence and a lot of people are not aware of.
For sure, yeah, definitely. It's how we have the weekend, right? Our 8-hour days, hopefully. Child labor laws, all those things that help us.
And what did you do in the event, if you don't mind me asking?
So I was the communications coordinator. I've worked on 4 festivals. I've been the photographer for almost all of them. Doing all the social media, the newsletters, the website, making sure that it's a cohesive brand look. So if you see one piece separate, it's part of the Bread and Roses Festival. I've actually got a lot of praise from that. And had others, the international, the book fair in Lawrence, picked up a few things from what I was doing.
Okay, so other people are catching on too.
Yeah, because
everybody's getting hit.
Everybody's getting hit.
You gotta have that cohesive look and keep updated, stuff like that. So yeah.
So I'm guessing that towards these other brands or these other organizations that they're getting a little older. You're like the saving grace. So she knows she's a bridge.
Yeah. I know a lot of millennials can probably relate with you might be going in for one job, but the second that they know you do social media, that's on your plate too.
Yeah.
But not many realize that social media alone is a job. Just doing that. I'll do few websites a month. Cool social media, especially because it's more longer term, mid to long term. I only take a few clients for that because I want to have that quality and the cohesiveness. In multiple platforms, you gotta have time for all of that and make sure it's good.
So web designing. You said you do a couple websites a month?
I could. It's so fun that it's not work. I've done a website, in a weekend, done my first draft, and then went to them for edits and moved on pretty quickly. So.
And you're knowledgeable in the coding and all that stuff that goes along with it?
Yeah.
That's why I made my own website. It wasn't that easy. I was struggling. I wish that I knew that extra, that extra sauce of coding how to really put it how you want it. I'm like, I have no idea.
That's the fun part. Yeah, my dad would try to get me to do Dreamweaver. I'm like, nope. Still starting
what is that, like another software of?
Yeah, kind of. It helps you helps generate the code for you versus me. I would like to learn the code and actually started in TextPad few Microsofts back.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of fun. The creativity is wild. Yeah.
That's cool.
What got you into doing all this? Like, what was?
I think been an artist in some ways for a long time. I went to the Essex Art Center since I was like 5 or something like that. And Kathy, Maria, and a bunch of them are all still there, and it's really fun because they're right next door to where Progress is. Yeah. So I get to see them every so often. But yeah, it's a lot of it is just tinkering. A big part of it was also starting Progress Clothing. I had to come up with the marketing, which also meant I could do whatever I want. I can test, I can experiment, and then apply it to jobs later. Versus you work for someone, you could get a whole range of how specific or micromanaging that they want to be, versus having your own creative license.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's like you feel like you're hiring yourself for what you're good at. It's like, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm doing, and nobody's really micromanaging.
No, you're doing something that you want to do, so it's not like oh, I have to do this. I mean, you want to do it,
and it feels better when somebody tells you, all right, this is the job, just get it done. Whoop. It just let you do. Isn't that the best feeling in the world?
You get paid and get to pick your own pay rate for it versus working for someone else and you're stuck for a bit. Yeah, this will be 2019 will be my 3rd year working completely independently. Yeah.
And how did you get into that? That's very scary for a lot of people who have who needs to leave their job so they can really follow their passion. Yeah. Can you describe the feeling and how you really went for it?
You at the minimum always need to at least have a part-time job. It all depends on what field you're taking the leap into independently. Some things you have to hunt for your clients, right? So you might not know when the next one's gonna come. There's some tools out there that'll make it easier for you, but you need to at least have your minimum, your rent paid, stuff like that, right?
You gotta have at least have something coming in because what are you gonna if you want to? You need to invest. I mean, you need something to invest in unless if you.
Yeah. Right. So guys, get to unemployment for a little while.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Don't let them know you're starting something.
Don't let them know you're being an artist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess this will help me explain. I guess we've been saying Progress Clothing, but what is it? We are basically the local Dress for Success. We're getting people dressed and ready for their job interviews for the work week. It's free professional clothes. It could even be for your college interviews, court dates. It's all the same clothes at the end of the day. Okay. But we're giving it out free, and you have the opportunity to have a one-on-one appointment to make sure the outfit is special to you.
I see. That's pretty dope. And with that being said, so you're trying to tell me that if I want to go to this high level interview, you can make me look high level.
It could be whatever level. It could even be more casual work environment.
I see.
We have clothes for business formal, business casual, all genders, all age ranges.
And sorry for asking this, but in Progress Clothing, so you guys do your research about the market. It was what job is it? And you'll look into it, and you're like, okay, this is what you should be wearing for this interview. Yeah,
to some degree. So basically, we take referrals. So how it works is, social service agency, career center refers clients to us. They'll come in for their one-on-one appointment for about an hour. And as they're getting referred, there's just a quick form the social worker fills out so we can have their size info and hopefully prep in advance. How soon is the interview coming up so we can schedule, and then what field is it, because there's some say that you can never dress up too much, but you can dress up too much.
Want that job,
there's some position. Fields that if you go with a full almost tuxedo looking suit to a construction job, they might not understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
what your intentions are, stuff like that. Like you're looking
guy's
to
like
impress.
trying too hard, you feel me?
And so I always say to people, especially when they're trying to figure out how to dress for the work week beyond the interview.
Yeah.
It's like if there's an opportunity to go check it out in advance, like retail or restaurants, whatever, you can go to the location, see how they dress to see if there's a uniform or is it casual or is it more formal, and then that'll help you figure out what to pick moving forward.
I see.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool niche, and it looks like
I never thought of that. I thought my fault for cutting it, but I thought you guys were making clothes. Do you guys?
No.
That's what I thought in my head. I'm like, you know, everybody want to make their own clothes. I'm like, yo, they probably making their own clothes. You feel me? But now that you're dressing people to go and be able to be like get successful, you know what I mean? Be successful and stuff like that. That's what's up. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's all through donations. I mean, some might say, you know, well, have you heard of like Dress for Success, stuff like that? The nearest one is like in Boston or Dorchester, and the other one's in Worcester. If you're just starting out or you're just trying to get from point A to B, like you don't have the money to get up and pay for the transportation to go all the way out to these places, you know, and it's that catch-22 of like to have the proper clothes for an interview where it's like all based on first impressions. That's expensive to have the right fit. You know, we try to make it so that it's like a one-stop shop. We specialize in the career clothing so that you don't, if you're trying to do the budget thing, you know, you can only go to so many thrift stores, get frustrated, pay for the transportation to get to all those thrift stores, stuff like that, versus like, we will get you a full outfit on the spot, most likely more than one, and you'll be good to go. You know?
That's pretty dope. It's interesting how let's say Progress Clothing is somehow integrated into like it's the government type of like almost you're integrated to society that it's like, oh, there's people like this that do need help, and all the organization really want to throw you those type of people that really need that help, and it's like you've become really dependable. You know, that's in the community.
That's something like the community really needs, because there's a lot of people in like, all right, I got a job interview, but I've never dressed like formal before, so I can't just go and be like, oh, let me go check my closet. I mean, you can probably be, yo, if it's like a one day thing, be like, I need an interview tomorrow. I mean, I need clothes for an interview tomorrow. I'm gonna go, and you can just show up and be like, boom, you alright. I mean, that's how I'm looking at it, because I know a lot of my boys, like when they used to get interviews, be like, yo, bro, I don't even have none of that clothes. I'm just like, yo, in my head, I'm like, yo, hit up Marshalls or something. You know what I mean? Do your thing, bro. But in my head, I'm like, you probably don't have the money to go over there and or spend at least like, spend $100 or $80 easy.
It adds up.
Trust
me.
It adds
up, and your nerves are already high because you're nervous about the interview. It's so ridiculously focused on first impressions, you know, stuff like that. So we make sure that they get the clothes free. They get to keep the clothes. We get enough donations. We're not worried. They can keep the clothes, right? And we've seen all sorts of situations. Those who think is what their best outfit isn't exactly interview appropriate, or like you might have one piece but not the other, and having like, you know, the professional clothes but not having it fit is also almost as bad as not having them, because now you're super self-conscious of like, oh, it's too tight, or you're pulling at your clothes. You're distracting yourself from the interview. And so, you know, I just want to
let me tell
make
you,
it easier.
When I was employed in a manufacturing company, I used to see guys coming for interviews in a tux. Where I was like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, you're gonna work on the production line like that.
You wanna be brown here, buddy? But ooh, nice suit though.
Like, good, you have it. But yeah, it gets confusing.
Or it's like a nice suit, or it's like a nice outfit.
Yeah.
With like sneakers that aren't even supposed to even go with that. It's just like, yo, nice kicks, but I don't see the synergy.
Right. Yeah, and it's not always like their fault either. Like if you just don't have those pieces, but the interviewers, those who are interviewing, the future employer doesn't get that. They look at you and think that you don't care, and it lessens your chances. Like I talk to my clients about how much I dislike the hiring process and how focused it is on those first impressions. Like when you're going into an interview, it's a conversation between both sides. It's very theoretical, right? You don't even know how the person works yet, but you're assuming from this conversation, you know, their whole life, all this stuff. And it is a meeting between both sides. It could be a crap employer. They could have high turnover because the employees aren't happy, and they're going to play face for an hour with you because they need somebody in there. So like both sides could play. I like the workplaces that will let the applicants like do a project or like work for a few weeks or a few months, stuff like that. Some
companies will ask me, let's say, do a welding test. You know, so that's what I'll do, and they'll be like, if you're very good, you see them too excited. If you're alright, they'll be like, oh, you're trainable though. I see your techniques. Just come over here. We got you.
Right.
There's some jobs that give you like a 6 month or like a 6 month period, and then after that they'll probably keep you permanent. If not, see you later, bro. Go find another job. But they gave you 6 months. You know what I mean, to prove yourself.
Yeah. So. And like Whole Foods, they'll have you go through that trial period, and then the other coworkers will review you to see like were you a good fit like within the team, not just the job, not just the employer saying yes or no, but like the whole store. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And Sabrina, what was your favorite marketing experience? Like out of all the projects that you think you worked on, what was one of the ones that it was a real adventure and I don't know, it was just fun?
Let me see. I definitely love pretty much any of the websites that I do, especially those that give me more creative freedom, and let me kind of like test it with the customers, because like you get that tunnel vision a little bit sometimes too, like you don't know what's wrong until someone else tries it. So stuff like that's cool, but I think one of my favorite projects right now is I've been working on the Why Lawrence campaign. Yeah. It's a video series. We're working with Felix Gomez from Vessel Vision Productions, and it's highlighting just you know, our everyday heroes in Lawrence. All sorts of different stories from you know, someone working at Grand Lawrence Family Health Center to imagine that and how they've changed, but still decided to stay here. All sorts of stuff. So
it's very positive, yo. Shout out to Felix Gomez, yo.
Yeah, for real. So
that's one of the funnest, and that's something great to have on like a badge, you know, like under your belt.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I that one I have to remind myself sometimes. It's like, I think I'm technically the director. Yeah.
Yeah, that's high level. Since you've been from Irish Italian heritage, how do you feel about Lawrence and States? And like, how do you feel about Lawrence?
I love it. I love it. My birthday is next Friday, and I keep saying that I want to go dancing because like I
What's your dance?
I went through Lawrence public school system. I went to the school dances,
so
the jams,
She does it all, bro.
So
she does it all.
I wouldn't say perfect, but I enjoy it for sure. Bachata and merengue. Joshua and I went to salsa lessons. Like,
he's lit.
I keep up pretty well. That's
what's up.
Yeah.
And and being from here, what's your favorite memory from here?
Oof.
And food.
And food.
That dog.
If I could combine, I guess my favorite plate would be like, or two of them. So I was saying earlier, like tripleta is a treat for me, right? You get to have that, like kind of the morning adventure, because you got to get out there early because it has to be fresh. You gotta
get over. You gotta get the worst rubbery food.
You ain't getting the right tripleta.
Yeah. That like random stuff put together would be like the chicken from El Pez Dorado with the lime, those donuts from Altair, like that'll be my fun picky food for sure. Yeah.
Cool. And I remember I went to this event on the second floor of El Taller. El Taller is a great restaurant. They also rent out their second floor.
Yeah, shout out to El Taller, man.
I went into an event there. Basically, I got a bag, and from every section, I got to pick pieces of clothing, that was great. Who coordinated that? Like,
Yeah.
and I saw you there too, and you were part of it.
Oh yeah. So that was from Progress Clothing. Basically, what happens is with the donations that come in, we make sure nothing goes to waste. So like if there's stuff that's too casual for the professional clothing program, but it's still like good quality, we'll put it to the side, and when we have enough, we'll host a clothing swap. So that was the swap.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And yeah, so I guess my teaser for today is that there will be finally another one coming back. I've had all sorts of people ask me, from friends to friends' moms to friends' grandmas, asking.
My mom has been asking.
With the green bag.
That's dope. That's really positive, especially coming from a city where it's hard to get certain things.
And you wouldn't, and the thing is that you wouldn't know that this stuff is really going on like that. You feel me? Like it's not like people really know about it, but like I didn't know about it. You feel me? Now I can go and tell like the people that need help. People that need help. Like I actually know people that be like, damn, bro. Like I wish, you feel me? Like I could have clothes to actually go and try to find a job or whatever. Like I'm not gonna go in Adidas sweatsuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So our specialty for Progress is the professional clothing program, and then also the one-on-one resume help that we do at the library. So that's every Tuesday morning, 10 to 12. And basically, we're partnering with the Career Center, formerly Valley Works, to provide this one-on-one service, because the Career Center has more the capacity to do resumes workshop style, and so like that one-on-one, individual care to finish your resume is still needed. So I host that. That's free. That's walk-in. I do it in English, Spanish, whatever you need, and you'll walk out with a complete resume, whether you came in with nothing and we started from scratch that day, or you had one to edit. You'll be good.
What's up, bro?
Yo,
I didn't know this shit.
Yeah. So stuff like the swap, which is our fundraiser, that we usually do like $10 at the door. You get 2 tote bags, and with a clothing swap, the idea is you bring something, you take something, but we don't. If you don't bring something, cool. Because we started off for you, because obviously the first person can't swap with themselves. So we bring the casual stuff that we couldn't use for the interview clothes, whatever. Get that going, and you can fill up your bag as much as you want. We make a community party out of it. We have music, we have artist vendors, all sorts of stuff. So
I remember bought some photographs from there. If I'm
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like there was an artist there selling some pictures. Certain shots of Lawrence and stuff. It was trippy. It was cool. Yeah. Shout outs to that artist. Shout outs.
Word. I think that was either Day or Ren. But yeah. So.
Shout outs to Day. Shout outs to Ren, because I met them both. Because I went to the whole circle. I got something from every single shop. I'm always supported. So shout out to them.
Yeah. So my I'll put it out there that it's probably gonna be like February, March will be the next one. And so I guess like in terms of like knowing what's going on, one resource that is part of one of my marketing jobs, right? So, but one resource that has been going on for a bit is wearelawrence.org. So that's like the centralized community calendar.
Everything that's going on.
Yeah. And like any organization can add to it. So we're revamping that. All sorts of stuff. We preloaded some info on there so we can get the wheels turning. So if anybody has stuff to add, We Are Lawrence is it.
WeAreLawrence.com or .org?
.org.
Woo! .org. That puts a certain professional add to it. Like it's classy. It's scholastic.
That org stuff is fire. That org stuff is fire.
And I guess to keep tabs on when the official date for the swap will be. Our Instagram is progress.clothing, or facebook.com/progressclothing.org is where we're at.
And I imagine that you want people to bring at least something warm clothing, because it's February, March,
February? Right? It depends. People might be starting their spring cleaning. It's kind of like whatever people want to do, but sometimes people will, they'll trade in their cooler weather items, start getting ready for spring, summer. Because 2017 we did it twice a year, so we did like kind of beginning of spring and we did October, so like fall. so you can have those seasonal changes.
Yeah, that's smart. That's awesome. That's cool. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially,
crazy, man.
so especially for all the drift
Yo.
connoisseurs out there,
Mhm.
this is where you get the good
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, and you know what's crazy?
$10 a bag, like 2 bags. 2
Yeah.
bags. Film as much as you
For
want.
$10?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yo, listen.
You don't even have to
Swag,
bring anything.
bro.
Just
Yo,
show
my man, so right, my one of my boys, that's all he does. Like, yo,
Yeah.
he's probably one of the freshest kids that I know.
Shout out to Four Popes, too.
Shout out to him too. But yo, this guy, all he does is thrift, and I be like, yo, friend, where you got that? He's like, man, I got that shit at a thrift store, bro. I'm over here like, you know, he be getting like starter jackets, bro. Like,
Oh,
shit,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like fire
Yeah.
starter jackets. I'm like, yo, my man, where you got that at, bro?
Yeah.
No, man, I got that shit at a thrift store, bro.
Yeah. Most
I'm
of my
like-
stuff, personally, my stuff is
I'm-
thrift. This is like my favorite jacket right now.
I'm like,
What? Something.
We definitely gonna have to hit that up.
$500 jacket she just threw on, dog.
That look like you bought it. That look like you got-
checked out. Yeah.
From over there too?
From
Yeah.
Progress, yeah.
Oh,
There's
it's
stuff that people
lit.
mix
What?
in. Like, you get the blazer, you can still wear it for the weekend, put it with jeans or whatever, and, you know, still have a good time. Like, it doesn't,
Oh,
like,
man.
you get to keep the stuff, so you can have fun with it after,
What's the
too.
store?
So, so we're over at 50 Island Street, up on the 2nd floor. We are behind the Essex Art Center, so that gets a little tricky. But yeah, we have our own parking and stuff like that. The thrift store is open Thursdays and Fridays, 1 to 5. And we have actually a small section that I'm calling like the back room, because of the way that, like, we're in an old mill building, so the way that they refurbished it, we have 2 rooms actually.
Okay.
So one of them is the professional clothes, and then the back room is the funkier thrift items that we sell in a way to raise funds for the professional clothes, the resume hours, stuff like that. So that's where, like,
back room
extra.
stuff.
So we the swap and our thrift hours. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yo, and shout out to the guy that's playing music upstairs.
Yeah, guys, I'm not sure if you hear this, but it's like
Yeah,
I'm
yo,
wilding out.
Yo, just shout out to him, bro.
It ain't Lawrence if it's
No.
not a random element.
Yeah.
If it's not the cops outside.
It's the motorcycles
It's not a motorcycle.
or the fire trucks, because we
Yeah.
live.
It's not that. It's the most fire Lawrence and DJ apparently.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what I said, man. The most fire DJ Lawrence.
Yo, that guy is crazy, man. Shout out to him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. I didn't know none of that, man. I be on Facebook and I see people like, yo, where can I do a resume at, or where can I do this, or where can I do that? And in my head, I'm like, yo, I mean, you don't know where to get a resume at, bro.
You would
But
think
then
the
it- but-
career center,
but- But then like,
It's
you know,
a
people don't do
process.
that. I mean, people rather have somebody like, oh, yo, my brother's gonna help me out, or whatever. But they won't think that, yo, you can come down here, bro, and
Yeah.
they'll help you out the right way. Like, you feel me,
Yeah.
front, back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Yeah, and I teach people, like, I usually don't do templates. You know how Microsoft Word comes with stuff or whatever, but those are usually very stubborn if you want to add stuff
Yeah.
later. So I teach people kind of how to do it from scratch, so they have that independence to add skills, jobs,
Yeah.
whatever comes up later.
Like, why give him the fish? Teach him how to fish.
Yeah,
Right.
for real.
I
Like,
mean,
don't
There
do
will
it for
always be people, you know, that need their resume. All the high school
Yeah.
students are constantly students graduating, so the more that we can help them be independent is no reason not to.
That's awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
dope. I like that.
And Sabrina, as a woman being this powerful, I feel like, you know, like
facts.
you're well established. As well, how does it feel maneuvering throughout this? You know, have you seen the backlash of people saying, oh, they're not equal women when we're working, or that's like, listen, I work so hard that I don't even see that.
Like
Let's say women in general in the
Mm.
workforce and being well established and powerful.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that you're being affected by that hot topic about?
Like,
you know,
has it been hard? Like, do you think that if you would have been like a man, it would have been easier? Like, it would have been.
Potentially, I think I see more of like the ageism parts of it. I won't be 27 till next Friday. Like, that's
Oh,
to start Progress 8 years ago as a student project, and then a side project to eventually having like our own space a couple of years ago. Yeah, when I go to like the ED roundtable, the executive director roundtables.
That sounds crazy.
I'm the youngest one in the room.
That's
usually.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so
but that just pushes.
So you need to make sure. You need to make sure you solid. Like I'm not gonna. And then I'm not gonna. You know, you need to make sure like that you're the boss.
You gotta hold your ground. That's what's up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I see that. I think my clients might see more of like the sexism parts of it, potentially because like I've kind of molded my way a bit on the independent work, but I know that as women we also, you know, there's a lot of conversations about like, are we asking for enough too, or do we have the confidence enough to ask for the salary that we deserve? Do we understand what our work level is actually at? Are we underestimating ourselves? Negotiating properly? So that could be something that's potential factor, but a lot of that comes through practice and learning. For my clients, I'm really focusing on giving them the step up that they need. Being like a minority city, you know, I started Progress because I was so frustrated with traveling, growing up throughout New England. The most common question is, where are you from? You say Lawrence, they give you a sour face.
Every time.
Instantly. And it's like, you might not even have been to Lawrence ever in your life, but you know, growing up, seeing those reactions, and living here all my life, you feel like they're talking bad about your family.
Yeah, fine.
So it's just like, and I understand some of that comes from like more stats than like the human interactions and stories. We do have a high unemployment rate, underemployment, low income population, but that's even more reason for me to help them get as close as we can to an equal playing field by having the proper clothes. Removing those barriers in the interview, making them feel more comfortable. They can focus on the interview questions better, you know, get past those ridiculous first impressions, and hopefully get them to that first job or a better job. And privilege is real, and it's bullshit, and it's frustrating. So I'm here so others can stand on my shoulders and get ahead.
Move forward. That's what we gotta do. Get involved, guys. We gotta get involved. Because I feel that a lot of frustrations out there is because people don't get involved. It's like what the next person said. You know, for instance, for the topic about Lawrence, I would say, "Oh, have you been to Lawrence?" No, it just my dad said it. Was like, no, I just heard this. You know, I'm like, I got it. I mean, I got it.
No, some people automatically think like, how do you live over there, brother?
I know.
Oh yeah, you work.
I'm fine.
Brother,
I'm fine. Oh, are you scared to walk like at 12 o'clock, bro? My man, I'll walk around by myself, bro. Yeah. What? Like this ain't no. Yo, listen, bro. If something's gonna happen to you, it's gonna happen to you anyway. It's gonna happen to you here. It's gonna happen anywhere. If something's gonna happen to you, it's gonna happen to you. Doesn't matter where you at, bro. I mean, but it's not like you can't walk the streets over here, bro. Like, I don't suggest you to walk down. I don't walk around at 12 o'clock if you don't have to. But
if I have to, I'm not gonna.
If you have to, don't be scared to do it. I mean,
no. I grew up in Tower Hill. We're in Prospect Hill now. I think Prospect Hill, I hear, is like has the reputation of being a hot street. Sometimes it is busier. But I think I like it better than Tower Hill. If I went back, I would probably think that Tower Hill is like too quiet for me now.
Yeah, no, Tower Hill is mad quiet a little bit.
I interact with my neighbors now more than when I was in Tower Hill. Wow. Like, you know, we go over each other's houses. We're trying to plan stuff to hang out or whatever. Like, nah, it's
more home.
Everywhere in Lawrence is good. It's what you make of it.
I went to a part of North Carolina, right? It was quiet. That's what my family was saying. I'm like, I can't be in this town. I'm a little mad. Good. Like, I need some random guy with his radio down the street or something. But okay.
Yeah, like,
everything's all good.
Or like, how long do I have to drive to do something normal?
It's like there's not even a corner store. It's like literally an hour away, 30 minutes away.
That's real crazy because I stayed up there in Maine for like 2 weeks, bro. Yeah. Yo, you had to go over there and like literally get everything that you gonna get and then go back because it was everything was far. I mean, and they don't have certain things. That salami is not.
When you need to relax, cool, but like Lawrence.
But
my
Lawrence,
home.
it's home.
I'll
It's
travel
Yeah.
wherever. I'm happy
But-
to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't deny, especially with all the growth. I've been seeing a lot of growth. It's already,
There's so
Yeah,
there's so much
we're
stuff
in a
going on, but
renaissance.
there just has to be some people to actually like empower it. You feel me? Like we gotta do it. Like we just can't be saying like, oh yeah, this is what I wish somebody would do this for the city, and it's like, bro,
we all have to try.
Yeah.
you could possibly do it.
Or sometimes there is a communication issue in Lawrence. Sometimes there's stuff already happening, and then someone recreates the whole thing all
Yeah.
over again, and then all this tricky stuff. Like it gets tough with nonprofits too. Like learning grant writing and stuff like that. There's a lot of grants that want you to collaborate, but like money is still the issue, right? Capitalism is still there even in the nonprofit world. So they'll say, we'll give you a bigger grant if 2 nonprofits go in and apply for this, but each nonprofit would walk away with less than if they went on their own.
Wow.
So that's how we get a lot of the competition going for the same grants.
Yeah.
And it is tricky to move forward more cohesively sometimes.
Yeah.
But we do our best. You know, the thrift store is one of my ways that I try not to rely too heavily on grants and kind of mix it up and keep it sustainable. The swap, stuff like that, fundraising, everything.
That sounds very difficult.
Complicated.
That sounds very difficult.
But she willing to do it. You feel me? Like it's fun to her. It's not like it's not her. It's her
It's-
job, but
she
not.
will-
It's not like
yeah.
she wakes up in the morning and goes, "Oh my god, I gotta do clothes stuff." That's what you chose to do. That's your problem.
I love thrift. I love the
That's what's up,
adventure,
man.
going through the donations and stuff. If I go shopping for my own things now, if I ever go to like a big box store, the mall, whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets boring because it's like it's all the same thing on the
Yeah.
rack.
Yeah, the
like
rack.
granted, you get the convenience of the different sizes, but the adventure is not the same.
You can expect to
Yeah,
see
'cause
it's
your
a spinner
your-
palette.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, sushi rolled in rice now. Okay.
No, but has it made you a better dresser? Like, do you dress better now since you see so many clothes?
Oh, people that
I think I get much better quality pieces through thrift because a lot of them, whether it's vintage or more recent, stuff that's made before what we have now is a lot better quality. Some people talk about like just even buttons. I haven't really gotten into the understanding of like, I guess the quality of buttons has gone down as just like this one, small sign of how much it's changed. But like my jacket has a lining. It's really like well put together, and it's like an older style, but almost new. It is part of that adventure. I think the tricky part for people may be sizing. Especially for a woman, there's no standard sizing system.
Yeah.
I guess they attempted it for some years in the U.S., but now it's whatever. And I actually heard recently through some research, they found that each store, their sizes depend on the market they're trying to cater to.
Oh, okay.
So if it's more posh, sporty, more
certain builds.
yeah.
People that are doing certain things. It's just like I could see that too in different. Like,
I never thought of it.
Yeah.
Like that. I just thought people make their
yeah.
clothes different. Like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy probably makes his size 8s a little bigger.
Yeah, so like a large
says
in one can be a stick, whereas it's a large, you could swim in it sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's I think one part that I guess our I don't know, we can hopefully get to a better place with. A lot of people get discouraged by the sizing, so that is part of what I tell my clients in the workshops too. Ignore the tag. Let's work towards fit. If you want to dress a certain way, we'll work with your body type, or if you wear, people can wear whatever they want. So if that's what you want, then that's what we'll do too.
Man, hey, you're the type that likes to get in a small. Go ahead. Yeah, those are muscles, right?
Oh man, he bring it there.
Yeah, but hey. I used to do it too.
Yo, listen, this Yo, people are fearless, bro.
You gotta push those limits to know where it is.
Yo, people are fearless, bro.
Color outside the line. Sometimes you gotta learn the rules to break the rules, right? That's one of the big fashion tips sometimes.
Nice. And Freddie, how long?
How long is it?
How long we recorded?
40 minutes.
Oh, that's solid.
That's good.
That's definitely solid.
Our theme music on.
Yeah, this nigga feels like he's just getting louder and louder.
Yeah, yo, bro, I was gonna start doing this.
Feeling the bass, I know. Focus back into the music for a second.
I'm like, bro, what's rude?
I
Don't
heard
you
it.
dare,
I hear
bro.
it clearly.
That is
hear
rude.
the-
I had a little skit in my head.
I know.
The
The watchers have no idea what's going on.
All right, so before I even close this,
Okay.
let me answer the shout outs. You want to say it? Yo, Sabrina, you have any shout outs?
So Sabrina, you don't have any shout outs?
You
Like
have
anybody that you really wanna, anybody that helped you, that's with you right now?
Can you say that again, please? I fucked up. I want to cut whatever I said. I fucked it up
Oh
for you.
my
Okay.
god. Yo.
I was rude.
Now you
We
go.
won't look at you.
Or
I can
Alright.
clap.
Like
bro.
this.
Let me
Make
at least
something
clap.
obvious.
The big.
so yeah. So Sabrina, you don't have any like any shout outs that you wanna let the people know?
Sure. Yeah. I am thankful. Joshua Albert, my partner, is here in the room. Wow.
Hey.
Super big support system. One phrase from him that I like a lot that has been useful and relevant all the times, but good reminder, right, is, the work speaks for itself. And so sometimes as like an entrepreneur, not everything will go perfectly or smoothly, whatever. So if you are true in what you're doing, you keep pushing forward and the work will speak for itself. Other shout outs, Progress Clothing was started also through E4All. Entrepreneurship for All. It was formerly the Merrimack Valley Sandbox when I got started and got my first seed grant as a college student to test out the idea. All sorts of people had actually one advisor at college that was very helpful and caring. Jane Parent, she helped me. I actually did a self-study, so one of my courses was just me working on Progress and like creating my first strategic plan, stuff like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, all sorts of people, and everyone who's let me experiment with marketing and make sure I pay my bills.
Yeah.
Your volunteers.
Of course, yes. Yeah, everyone who's been involved with Progress in one form or another, it's true. They've definitely had a special place in my heart, from the volunteers to mentors, but the clients have also been like that big piece of it. So like seeing their transformations in the appointments have been great. Some have loved the experience so much that they want to come back and volunteer and get into it. So yeah, no, they're all super sweet. I get lots of hugs and kisses at the end of resume appointments and stuff like that it keeps reminding me why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I love my job. You wake up, yes, more love today. I'm gonna get more love today. Yes, like
yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's what we need to get started. All right, it was nice having you, Sabrina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Shake hands.
I know. Thank you.
You already know elviews.
On elviews.
Yo.
Like the announcer voice.
Yo, that shit. Yo, he
not the same person.
he really does that. Yo, but that was a smooth 40 minutes though. That was 20 minutes flew.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there
No,
was
that
good
was really
good
nice.
content. It was like solid content.